Well, looks like CJAX had enough, man. So he gave us an 8-minute clip. Well, 7. And I didn't. That's why I didn't watch Smackdown tonight because I was too busy watching AEW Dynamite. And I got plenty more matches to go. Well, actually, I think like 2 more. But yeah, man, I had to watch me a rerun of Dynamite because I love me some AEW. But before I finish up, I'm going to go ahead and react to this video with y'all because I know y'all want to hear some CJAX. So let's go ahead and get to this short-ass review, all right? Let's get started.
Look, let's just get into it and be honest with ourselves. This episode of Smackdown isn't even worth yelling over necessarily. I'm probably going to because this episode is garbage. I'm shutting it off an hour before, 10 p.m. Eastern time because I'm not watching this show. The Drew McIntyre, I can't stop thinking about Punk. This jobber just came out and cut his promo and it was straight garbage. I'm the nightmare now, Cody. I defended myself. You didn't want this to happen, but I prayed for it and it happened. You're spreading yourself too thin. You can't stop thinking about Punk. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? It's absolute garbage. What eventful or interesting thing happened on this episode of Smackdown? Now, like I said, I didn't watch the last hour of the show, so I'm just going off what I've seen, and what I've seen is garbage. Triple H is on vacation right now, as I exposed on Monday, right? This dude wasn't even backstage because he's not even there. He's on some vacation, I think, on the family. Like, I saw some TMZ posts about it earlier, but the fact is, this show sucks with or without Triple H being there to book the shows. This is garbage product. You remember when growing up, for example, at least, in my times growing up, and other people, times in their generations, they had much better stuff than this as well. But when I was growing up, you would have a SmackDown or a Raw, for example, where you would have people like Batista, Orton, Cena, Shawn Michaels, Jeff Hardy, you know what I'm saying? CM Punk in his prime, Edge, etc., Rey Mysterio. These are the people who would open and close your shows. Now, you open the show with Samuel Zayn going out to talk to Solo Sikoa and Jefferson Cobathan on how to exactly get a U.S. championship back. Nobody cares. This is not good TV. Nobody's excited about this. Are you excited to see Jeffrey Cobb fight Sami Zayn? Are you excited to see Jefferson Cobb fight Sami Zayn? Think about that sentence, bro. You used to see Batista main eventing SmackDowns with actual legends like Undertaker, and now you're sitting here watching Samuel Zayn, Jimmy Uso, and Jacoby Fatu versus the MFT. That's what you're watching, bro. Like, none of this is like who cares about any of this stuff, man? This is garbage, bro. And everyone should know this by now. This company doesn't care. Triple H doesn't care. TKO does not care. Nobody cares about making engaging and actual interesting television. Every segment feels phoned in and lifeless. They're predictable. You know what's going to happen before it happens. That makes all the segments meaningless. It's lifeless. None of the storylines have any creativity in them. There's no intrigue. There's no nuance. Tiffany Stratton literally was in a backstage segment with guess who? Nia Jax and Jade Cargill, the same people she's been having backstage segments and feuding in matches with for the last 7 months, it feels like, man. It's the same thing. The Nia Jax and Tiffany stuff has been going on for a year and it's still happening. Cody Rhodes, Dr. Libations, the full-time champion himself, is not here tonight. He just took a 7 or 8 week break after WrestleMania, or no, so it may not even been 7 weeks, maybe it was more like a month, maybe 4 or 5 weeks, but whatever. A 5-week break after Mania, and now all of a sudden he's back, and then after 2 months of being there and barely wrestling, now he's back taking a break again. I don't care if it's in storyline, out of storyline, I do not care. This show is garbage. I don't care what happens on any of these shows. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So we're gonna run through this because there's one specific thing that I saw that I actually really enjoyed and I thought was really a good and a step in the right direction for a specific wrestler. That being Carmelo Hayes, you know what I'm saying? However, outside of that, this show is dead, it's lifeless, it's boring, it's bad, it's not creative, and it absolutely sucks. It is probably the worst wrestling show on the planet right now. And the crazy thing is that SmackDown is way better, is way worse than Raw, and Raw is awful. So I don't know what to say, man. As I've realized that this is literally the worst SmackDown ever, at least one of them, I think it's safe to go ahead and make this the shortest SmackDown review that I have ever done. Okay, because I didn't watch the last half of the show, and I'm not going back and watching it. I'm gonna check up the results, I guess, and I'll go it that way. First off, we started off with, what was it, man? It was a garbage and meaningless promo where Sami Zayn came out to thank Solo Sikoa, to appreciate Solo Sikoa, to love Solo Sikoa, and basically say that after months of talking about the World Heavyweight Championship and his aspirations and goals, he's now gonna fight Solo for the U.S. Championship. Then after this, they have a brawl segment, of course. Solo starts yelling, and then Jacob Fatu, who was just feuding with Sami at Survivor Series, and Jimmy Uso as well, is now teaming with them to fight against the MFT, and then that match is the main event of the show. So I don't care about this segment. We can move on. We then move on from this. I believe we got Alexa Bliss versus Piper Niven. Alexa Bliss won in a roll-up, and then afterwards you got a brawl. It's the same thing every week. I'm done wasting time on this garbage, bro. This is genuinely the worst SmackDown ever. I don't even want to talk about it. Like, that's just being honest with you guys. No one should actually have anything to say more than maybe like 10 minutes talking about this episode. Like, genuinely. There's nothing happened on this show. Literally nothing. This will go down as the most forgettable SmackDown episode ever. It really is. Then on top of that, after this took place, I think we had I think it was a Drew McIntyre promo, it may have been, or no, it was Mello Don't Miz versus Fraxium. I enjoyed this because Mello Hayes is actually over. He's in his hometown of Boston, so it may have just been that, but he was over tonight, man. He got a pop, he got reactions, we want Mello, all that stuff. I thought it was great. I enjoy Carmelo Hayes. You guys know I think he deserves much better booking. I think we can all agree on that. So seeing him out there tonight, I thought was pretty fun. And him and Miz, they had it so that Miz was the one who took the pin from Mello. So that way, people are going to keep on wanting Mello to be the one to get the final W, So this could retroactively get Mello over, even more over, I guess, in the coming weeks. So I thought this was a step in the right direction. And the match was entertaining, with some really good spots.
Well, congratulations to Miz and Mello. I mean, I'm glad they got their first dub, at least how I remember. But, congratulations to Mello, man. I mean, of course, he seems upset, but, hey, at least you won, right? Thanks to the Miz. But hopefully, I did hear rumors that he's going to get a babyface turn, so hopefully this will be the turn. So we'll see how it goes.
And then after this, we got a Drew McIntyre promo. And for someone like Drew McIntyre, who normally cuts decent or solid promos, this was unwatchable. Genuinely, I almost fell asleep during this promo. He basically bored the crowd to death. There was barely any energy from the crowd during this. Barely any energy at all tonight. This is the worst episode of SmackDown ever. And with a garbage promo from Drew McIntyre. He basically says that he was self-defensing against Cody. He had to defend himself. He didn't want to do this, but he had to. But he had to. But he had to. But he had to. No one cares. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's move on from this garbage. I don't even want to talk about this. He basically said that if you keep pushing me, Cody, I'm going to be your nightmare. Let's move on from that. I don't know what we got after this. I think it was DIY versus Street Profits. I don't know who won this match. This is the 50th time they've done this, so I don't give a crap.
Well, it says on the title that the Street Profits beat them, so there you go.
Then on top of that, what else did we have after this, man? I think it was Tiffany Stratton backstage. She had multiple different segments where basically she was talking to Nia Jax and Jade Cargill. The same stuff she's been doing for the last year. There's nothing to speak of here. She has a conversation, backstage with Kiana James about potentially getting a pink championship belt. I don't know what this is. Why is Tiffany Stratton getting so overpushed? She's not that good. Why are we holding a belt on her for over 200 days, man? Like, be honest. What amazing story or great moment or great promo or amazing matches has she put together in this title run? Like, be honest with yourself. Like, what are we doing at this point? Now she's getting a pink title eventually? Like, dude, stop.
Well, no, I think they're discussing either have Julia team up with Tiffany or have a match with Tiffany. So I think that's the discussion with Kiana James. And then, of course, Michi came up, but she got ignored event, because, her status says jobber. So, yeah, I feel bad for Michi because, all the time she been facing for that title, can't face it against Julia. Yeah, she deserved better, man. I think the best option for Michi is to either go back to NXT or go back to TNA or something, because obviously Hunter don't give a damn about her, and neither is the people in the back. So you going after the United States title is just a complete waste. So I say just go back to the NXT and get some competition over there. Maybe you can face Jada Parker or something, or team up with her. Either way, you need to do something besides dealing, putting yourself into catering, on SmackDown. So, yeah, I think that's the best route for Michi, if you ask me. But let's continue.
Then we move on from this, and I think that was the main event. I think that was it. We had a couple backstage segments with Ron Killings, I saw, was backstage doing whatever. Triple H fumbled his momentum, so nobody cares. And then we have the main event of Sammy, Jacob Fatu, and Jimmy Uso, and they beat the MFT, and nobody cares. I don't know why you would have two people who are fighting for the same mid-card championship, but you know what? Hey, man, it is what it is. You're going to have Solo, Jacob Fatu, Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn. Everybody wants the U.S. championship now, and that is your SmackDown. No superstars, no energy, no life, no creativity, poor booking, nonsensical booking, and an unentertaining show, and a show that's largely predictable, and repetitive and monotonous. This is awful. It gets a negative 15 out of 10. This is the worst SmackDown that I have ever seen. It's so bad I don't even have the energy to rage about it, man. That's how bad it was. So thank you guys for watching this video. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out and one love.
All right, well, since you want to end the video like that, we're going to go ahead and let's talk about this little changey wingy. So, there's a discussion saying that TNA might switch to Wednesday night to compete with AEW Dynamite. Now, I think this is stupid. I hope this doesn't get confirmed, but knowing WWE, they're going to find a way to confirm it. So you look at the comments, people are not too pleased about it. They think this is stupid. People really do think that, AEW will probably most likely destroy them just because you got to look at the viewership, okay? AEW is still winning. Maybe even though they're kind of lacking right now, they're still winning either way. I mean, people are watching. I mean, look at the viewership. People are watching AEW more than they're watching TNA. And which that makes sense, because I don't even watch TNA like that. But I try to, but not often. You know what I'm saying? And you can see by the viewership. People are not feeling the competition, man. And if you look at the comment box, you can see that people are not down with it. Now, some people are, but I'm not. Okay? Now, I know people going to still criticize, AEW for their, past. But at the end of the day, man, you got to let bygones be bygones, all right? I mean, I even look back at all the matches that they went through before 2024. And I'm going to be honest with you, man, I regret not watching it. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I did watch it back in the pandemic era. But, again, there was no crowd. So how would I watch it? You know what I'm saying? I think the only pandemic match that I watched was two actually. Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin. And, of course, Brad Breakker versus Thunder Rosa. That was the only matches I watched. You know what I mean? While everything else was just getting there. So, I regret it, and, I'm just happy that I was able to catch up. But I just wish people would just stop hating on AEW and just focus on that show if you want to be entertained. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be entertained. If you don't want to be entertained, you don't have to watch it. You know what I'm saying? But for you to just, be so brainwashed by WWE to believe that WWE is still the same as it was before, you're wrong. I mean, I didn't even, watch the whole episode. I kind of just skipped it. I didn't, the only match that I watched was Alexa Bliss versus Piper Niven, but I had to skip to the end because I don't want to see Piper Niven versus Alexa Bliss. Come on now, but don't get me wrong. I mean, the Secret Herberts are getting over, but it's just like, do we really need to see them wrestle? I'd rather see Chelsea Green versus Tiffany Stratton in a cheerleading match. That's something that I created in my fantasy booking. You know what I mean? Because I think it will be very entertaining. Them dressing like cheerleaders and they just wrestle it out. I think that's entertaining. Shoot. I was thinking about that with Maya May versus Harley Cameron. Like, I wanted them to, dress, sexy and then they wrestle with each other. But they didn't do that. So, I mean, I know they're not going to bring back bikini matches, but damn. I mean, can you at least, do a lingerie match or something, you know what I mean? Or, do like a schoolgirl match, you know what I mean? Like, I think that would be kind of cool. But they didn't do that, so. But this is what happens when you don't have creativity. But at least AEW is at least creative with their writings versus with WWE, they're not. Okay? At least recently. So, man, I don't know when you guys are going to get tired of WWE because, SmackDown just sucks ass. Okay. And as for Raw goes, I mean, look, I'm gonna watch Raw because of Judgment Day, but then you see that with my last video, I kept it short because there's nothing to talk about. All right, Liv Morgan won't be back until early 2026, and we just hope that she be back at the Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? And when she does come back at the Royal Rumble, we hope that she can these predictions will come true when she become babyface, and she get away from Dom, get away from the Judgment Day, and she goes solo and focus on gold. But everyone in the comment box keeps saying, she's going to get back with Dom. She's going to get back with Dom. She's going to get back with Dom. First of all, if she's coming back babyface, that means she can't be with Dom. And the reason why is because Dom can't be babyface because Dom doesn't want to be. He said he wants to be. He said if he becomes babyface, it would have to be organically, which means he would have to make up with his spotter. All right? He can't make up with Liv because that's not going to count. People ain't going to care about that. You have to make up with your spotter if you want to become babyface again. So, just like you did back in about either 2020 or 2021 or 2022, something like that. So it's just like, at the end of the day, man, y'all can hate it. Y'all can come up with these predictions all you want, but I think the right prediction is to have her win the Royal Rumble so she can get her first win. And then when she get her first win, she can go on to WrestleMania and she can face the champ, win that shit clean. And then, and don't even think about Dom. Don't even think about the Judgment Day. Just keep on moving. You know what I'm saying? And we just hope that, Dominic Mysterio will, work with Raquel and Roxanne and they can form their own fraction. You know what I mean? They ain't got to be in love or nothing. Just be business partners. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you guys can take over AAA. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you might as well. I mean, Laura Vice is always over there. You guys can go over there and take over. Mexico rock with y'all. Well, they rock with Dom more, but they'll start to like Roxanne and Raquel a little bit better because, they're all family over there, So hopefully that will be the case. But we got to also get, Carlito as well. But he's not coming back, at least not right now. But I don't see the band. I don't see him being prohibited to be in AAA. But I mean, again, it is part of WWE now. So I don't know if that can work out. But hey, you never know what time could do. But I mean, Carlito did say he don't want to be dealing with WWE no more. So it's obvious because of Triple H and TKO. So there you go. But like I said, y'all gonna learn the hard way when y'all realize that all this hype about WWE. Listen, the celebrities might support it right now, including the people that are new to it. And like I said, all this sounds good until the money start to dry up, and people not showing up. And they're not getting the same sponsorships as they used to, and to come to realization that people do not like the new WWE. Okay, the new era of the WWE. All right, they want the Attitude Era, they want the Vince McMahon era, and unfortunately, they're not going to go back to that because times has changed. People are sensitive now, and nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? So unless like I said, nobody's wearing the merch. Only time they're wearing it is when they show up to the show. But when they're not at the show, they ain't wearing it. Okay? I do see the Jey Uso shirt. I do see the Rhea shirt. But I don't see the Living Dom shirt. So all this it's talking about it's the most popular sell. Shut up. All right? Ain't nobody wearing that new shirt. And they never will. So like I said, why would you buy something that nobody can see? That's what I'm saying. Why buy a product that nobody can see? Why buy a clothing that no one can see? If no one can see it, then why buy it? Right? I don't give a crap if it's $26, $20, or $15. Don't buy something that you're not going to wear outside. All right? Unless you're trying to wear it inside, it's a waste of money. Okay, either way, it's a waste of money. All right? Why would you buy a shirt for $26 and not come outside and wear it? That's what I'm saying. Well, don't show off something that you can't wear. If you're not going to wear it, then don't buy it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a joke. And again, if you guys are not going to protest to get Triple H fired, then obviously you're gonna be dealing with this for months, and honestly, I can't wait to see I can't wait to see what WWE's stats gonna look like next year. But again, they over here trying to compete with AEW, but AEW about to, AEW about to get their millions back. But we need to get the YouTube videos back in shape, right? All right, Tony. All right, no more 1 or 2 minute videos. I see you drop a full video of a throwback, so that's good. You're still dropping that, but you still need to get a new editor to bring back the 4 or 5 minute clips. You need to bring that back. But other than that, man, let's just hope that that nobody goes out of business. Because like I said, I don't want no company to go out of business. I don't want WWE to go out of business. I don't want TNA to go out of business. And I don't want AEW out of business. Okay? We can still have these shows. We just got to, pick which one that we're trying to be entertained by, right? Because it's good to have options. You know what I'm saying? I still want TNA to be coming around because of the superstars that's there, and I still want AEW around because they pursue my happiness, and I do want WWE to stay around because there are people there that do care about the business and they don't want to see it fumble, like Cody and the Usos and Roman and all them. But, again, money is money. And if you guys only care about money, then you guys don't care about the business. Because if you care about the passion of the sport, you would talk about it. But it seems to me like you only care about the money based off of the passion of the sport, because the passion of the sport is not there no more. So, again, we just hope that, when the chips are down, people are able to do their part, you know what I'm saying? But if they don't do it, then like I said, I don't expect it to not, go anywhere. So, so we just hope that, that next year people will get a reality check no matter which company. But I'm rooting for AEW, and, as for WWE, look, if they said they got money and they're able to do this and that, then that lets you know where they're at. But that $3 billion of debt, I call it $1.4 million of debt because of how much you would receive from Disney. But again, I don't wish no company to be destroyed, but I can see WWE losing fans, losing money because of greed and ego. So if Triple H and TK don't realize that, then, like I said, I won't be surprised if they be let go. But this is going to hurt them. Why AEW is, to me, in my prediction, that they're going to be up to the top. And then as for TNA, I don't know. But I just hope that, that both of those companies will stay around. But this is why I hope that TNA don't put themselves to the ground. But if they do so, then it's over. And then the TNA that we used to fall in love with, it's gone. It been gone, but now the company is gone, and now all the superstars have to figure out where they got to go. It's either go to the Indies, either stay in WWE, or come to AEW. So all determined, and you just wish nothing but the best, But I'm going to continue to support AEW because I'm in the middle of Dynamite and I got to continue watching. So I just got done watching the Swerve promo, and now I'm about to watch the Jon Moxley promo. So get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. Comment down below and let me know what y'all think about the TNA and WWE AEW beef. Comment down below and let me know about that because we ain't going to talk about Smackdown like that. But, again, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. All right, get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. And I'll catch y'all on the next video, all right? And don't forget, Collision is this Saturday. So when this video drop, it will be Saturday. So I will have a reaction video out Sunday morning. So make sure y'all tune into that, all right? I'm out.